and Tim Legler here in our studio. Here's the big moment. We'll have more time to talk about it. But again, Legs, it is Draymond thrown out on a flagrant 2.
Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Didn't like it when I saw it live. I liked it even less the more I saw the replays. And I don't think there's one person on Memphis' team that would have been upset with a flagrant 1.
In the meantime, we will get Jay Will's take on that in a moment. Something tells me he might disagree. Fourth quarter, spectacular back-and-forth action. That's Ja Morant going to the hole, giving the Grizzlies a late 2-point lead. Now we're 40 seconds to play. Warriors down by 2. Klay Thompson did not have a good day, but that's a big shot.
Desmond Bane, why go for the head fake? Force him to be a 2-point scorer and create off the dribble. Huge shot by Klay Thompson.
It was, and then it's Morant again. But this time, Steph with the defense.
Great hands, right on top of the ball. Looked like he got hit when you were watching it live. Then you see the replay. Phenomenal strip by Steph Curry.
Grizzlies were forced to foul. Took them forever to do it one way or another. They wind up getting this last chance. Ja Morant going left, but it's Klay Thompson reading the play and making the good defensive effort. Draymond Green saying, thanks for picking me up, guys. He was there in the tunnel to hug everybody. And the Warriors with a huge win on the road. And again, the squad is here. I brought Jay over from KJM Radio. What did you think of Draymond getting thrown out?
So here's my whole thing. If you have a speeding history, right, and you get a ticket for going 100 miles per hour, a ticket for going 95, a ticket for going 90, if you get caught the 4th time, they're going to take your license away. So when people say, well, this is upon the history of Draymond Green, it is. When you're talking about a guy who's led the NBA in technical fouls, top 6 since 2015. So from my understanding that for Draymond, it wasn't the first foul I had a hard time with. It was the second time when a guy is exposed and he's vulnerable with both hands in the air, the grabbing of the jersey.
Yeah.
If he falls down the wrong way, that's where I see it being applicable for an ejection.
This is really complicated, Legs, because as I'm watching, I saw Stephen A. didn't like it at all, and Jalen made an interesting point. Jalen said the officials should be looking for a reason to let the player stay in the game, and when he sort of tries to keep him from falling down, that's the reason. The counter argument to that is the one Jay is making. Maybe Draymond has sort of sacrificed the benefit of the doubt in situations like
look,
that.
I understand reputation does play a factor in this. It plays a factor in technical fouls with certain players and everything else. I understand that. And the jersey grab, the more egregious of the two. I have a problem with the way they interpreted the contact to his face. How's that a wind-up? He slides over, his hand is already up, and he just rakes down and happens to catch his face. Jersey grab, that was not a very smart play on the part of Draymond. He did try to catch him. When you add all that up, to me, in a playoff game, he stays in the game. And like I said earlier, I really believe not one player on Memphis' team or one member of their coaching staff would have been upset if that was a flagrant 1. I think they were expecting a flagrant 1.
I was expecting a flagrant 1, to be honest with you. When I saw Draymond start, making it act like he was leaving before the announcement, I said, holy smoke, they threw him out of the game.
Here's my only thing. If you can pull the camera out for 1 second, I know we're showing a highlight. If Legs has the ball and I'm coming down and I swipe down the ball, I hit his face back, I'm cool with that, Legs. That's playoff basketball.
Right.
But if you're up in the air and both your hands are up like this and you're off the ground, and after I swipe, now I pull your jersey down, what happens if I don't catch you the right way?
Yeah.
So he kind of catches him when he's already on the ground. I think that's the egregious act that sends it over the edge.
Right. Here's the problem I have with that. The jersey grab to me should be a 1, and the slap in the face should be none. It's almost like they added them both up. They took a 1 for the face slap, a 1 for the jersey grab. It adds up to a 2, and you're going.
Legs,
I don't think the rake down when he caught him across the face, to me, that should not be a flagrant foul.
But Legs, if you're the modern day Dennis Rodman, right? So your reputation does speak for you. There is extra awareness around things you do. That's what I'm saying. Draymond just has to be smarter in that situation.
Disappointed.
I agree.
Ever since you started putting makeup on and doing this job,
makeup.
Maybe got a little soft.
Stop.
You might have gotten a little soft.
What are you talking?
You're going to grab him by the jersey. And
I appreciate hard fouls. I'm all about that.
Parenthetically, just generally speaking, the officiating in that game was questionable.
Yes, for sure.
Listen, if you watch the first game and then watch the second one back to back, I felt like I was watching 2 different leagues. I really did. I was so happy with the way the first game was officiated. Like, thank goodness we're in playoff basketball now. Went to the second game, too many fouls I was questioning throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, everyone had 2 fouls before the game even started, it felt like. So that was a little bit frustrating. All right, let me run the floor quickly through some other NBA news. And let me go. Jay, Giannis and the Bucks. We showed the highlight earlier today. They dominate. What did you see from Milwaukee?
This is why I think Giannis is the best player in the world. Kevin Durant might be more skillful, but the dominance, the sheer pure dominance, physicality. He threw Jason Tatum like a rag doll in one possession. And I think we're seeing now a better defensive team, how Boston has to play against it, and that Giannis is proving he's the best player in the world.
All right, Dallas and Phoenix begins tonight. Legs, more confident in Doncic or Devin Booker?
Well, I have more confidence that Luka Doncic will look more like himself at his best than Devin Booker will tonight, but it doesn't necessarily mean Phoenix can't win this game. The fact that Booker even got on the court is a great sign, and you can tell he was sort of tentative to really push that hamstring. I think Devin Booker will be closer to himself. I expect Luka to be great, but it doesn't necessarily mean Dallas can win this series.
Sixers and Heat starts tonight also. Jay Will, with no Embiid the first two games, will Harden rise and lift the Sixers?
I think Harden gets exposed even more. I think Miami exposed Trae Young, and I think without a Joel Embiid, if James Harden reverts back to more ISO plays, that will be the worst thing he can do. We might be talking about what's more so wrong with James Harden by the time Joel Embiid comes back, more so than how James Harden has uplifted this team.
A quick thought on that from you, Legs.
Completely agree with him. It's one thing to say, well, he's been limited because he's in a slump or whatnot. I think there's some physical limitations on the part of James Harden now. He just does not have the ability to dominate the point of attack the way that he did a few years ago in Houston. I think now you can really load up more on him because they don't have any other playmakers outside of Maxey, a very young player who's playing great. But that's just not going to be enough. Joel Embiid defines this series really for both teams. Not having him puts, I think, too much pressure on a player like Harden that's not in that kind of rhythm to be able to take over a game.
I can't believe you called me soft on national TV.
Just listen, I'm just saying, man.
Oh,
that's a flagrant. Oh, that's a flagrant. I can't see.
My goodness. That's it. Legler just flopped on Get Up for the very first time. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Get my football in Memphis. Ja and the Grizzlies. Steph and the Warriors. We begin with the drama. Late second quarter. You've seen it by now. Draymond Green thrown out for a flagrant 2. What'd you think of the call?
Didn't like it at all. I just felt like neither one of those acts to me were intentional enough or egregious enough to add up to a flagrant 2, particularly in a playoff game. I didn't like it.
You will hear from him directly a little later. That's how he left the court. All right, to the fourth quarter we go. What a game this was. Warriors up 1. And the shot-making, Legs, was spectacular.
Yeah, Jordan Poole, what a weapon he has given them. Goes from a role player a year ago to a guy now putting up 25, 30 a night in postseason games.
He had 31 off the bench, and then it's Ja, spectacular in the lane. He had 34. Next Warriors possession, it's Steph.
Yeah, huge step back. Gets the switch. Jaren Jackson, one of the best perimeter defenders for a big in the league, couldn't quite get the separation.
And then it's the Grizzlies on the break. Notice Ja continues to go to the left hand. Just file that away in the back of your mind. Here we go again. Ja, left side of the basket. Grizzlies up a deuce. Under 40 seconds to play. This time it's Klay Thompson. He did not have a good night, but he knocks this one down.
Enormous 3. Great up fake there to get Bane to fly by. Goes back to his left. He struggled all night, but came through when they needed him.
And then it's Ja Morant again. And once again, he's fighting through traffic, but look at Steph with the big play.
Great strip from behind. Ja taking into traffic, expecting to get that call, but you take a look at the replay. That's all ball by Steph Curry. Warriors come up with the loose ball.
Grizzlies were forced to foul. They took forever to do it, by the way. And then Klay goes to the line. He missed the first. He misses them both. It's unbelievable. And then the ball goes out of bounds, and the refs can't decide who touched it, and it's not reviewable. So we're going to go to a jump ball, which is ridiculous. And the Grizzlies wind up winning that. They call a timeout, and here's the play. Remember, they go left. Morant goes left.